Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative is running in coordination with our website, which is rajisacademy.com. The mains answer writing section, if you visit this website, the mains answer writing section has been fully reserved for Seize the Mains answer writing, daily answer writing initiative. This functions in a way, it's a two-way process basically. From Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. we bring out a question answer discussion for your civil services mains examination, and that question is strictly from current affairs. So whatever editorials or articles you're reading in the newspapers that appear on Seize the Mains, a model answer is framed by our team, by our experts, by our subject experts, and that model answer gets discussed here from Monday to Saturday. That answer gets uploaded on the website. As you can see, this daily mains answer writing challenge, all the questions, if you click on them, you'll also see their answers. The model answers also get uploaded there, and along with that, there is a comment section that has been ascribed just to the aspirants like you. Every day, what you can do is, after reading the model answer, after watching the video, you can post your answers in this comment section, and our team evaluates those answers in the next few days and gives you their feedback on the answers so that you can improve, you can learn the skill of answer writing. And this initiative is entirely free of cost. So yes, that's how we move ahead. A lot of students have improved their answer writing skills just by writing every day in Seize the Mains on our website, and being connected with Seize the Mains on a daily level. So our videos are also very short, 15 to 20 minutes long, not more than that. So every day you're covering one topic from current affairs. You're also learning what question can be framed, what question can be seen in mains from Seize the Mains, and also you learn the skill of answer writing. Your grasping power gets better, your expression power gets better, and you're also confidently able to handle the exam, any stage of the exam for that matter, prelims, mains, interview. So let's begin with today's topic, rare earth minerals. This is the topic for today. If you look at the past trends of UPSC civil services papers, in the past 4 or 5 years, questions regarding minerals have increased, whether it was coal, minor minerals, major minerals, rare earth minerals, etc. So rare earth minerals, question is expected in mains because recently in Sweden, a very large deposit, Europe's largest deposit of rare earth minerals has been found. And we talk about renewable energy development. We talk about moving to producing electricity with the help of renewable resources, or switching to renewable resources generally. But the point here is that to have appropriate cells which use renewable energy, rare earth minerals, they go behind in making, in the processing of this renewable technology. So rare earth minerals are very important for our transition from fossil fuels to renewable sources of energy, especially your electric vehicles. The batteries that are used in electric vehicles, they use a lot of rare earth minerals. Your electronics industry, your mobile phones, your defense sector, everywhere they find applications. And the problem with rare earth minerals is, though they are widely found, they are found all over the globe, but their extraction, that is a problem because the concentration is not very high. Plus they they occur in groups, they occur together. You cannot segregate one rare earth mineral from the other unless there is a heavy processing that goes behind it, and that technology is very expensive, and that technology has been developed by China. China has a monopoly of production of rare earth minerals. So depending upon what relations China has with the rest of the world, it continues to increase or decrease rare earth minerals from time to time. So definitely other initiatives are also coming up. India is also getting up in the race, participating in the race for rare earth minerals. So the question would be, question that has been framed is with regards to geopolitics of rare earth minerals, because all the articles that are appearing in newspapers, they focus on the geopolitical aspect of it. Also we'll be covering what rare earth minerals are and how they are obtained. So let's look at the question, and this question would cover the entire topic. And if you are a non-science student, or even if you are a science student, I'm sure that this is not a very comfortable topic for many of you. So just stand your ground, go through the video, then read out the entire answer. This is a very simple topic and very important topic for you as a civil services aspirant and as a future bureaucrat. So what are rare earth minerals and how are they obtained? Throw some light on the geopolitics behind the availability and accumulation of rare earth minerals around the globe. Answer in 250 words. So let's look at the directives here. Look at the first part of the question. It asks you directly what are rare earth minerals and how are they obtained. So what are rare earth minerals? This is something that we would be talking about in the introduction. This introduction will take some lines of introduction to talk about their applications also, that what are rare earth minerals and why are they important. So importance would be highlighted through the applications of rare earth minerals or their uses. Applications as uses. Then how are they obtained? So this is your geography part of the syllabus. So location of industries, mines, that is a part of your GS paper 1. How are they obtained? We'll talk a little bit about how mining and segregation of these minerals is carried out. This would form our body paragraph 1. And then throw some light on the geopolitics behind the availability and accumulation of rare earth minerals around the globe. So here you will not have objective points. You'll have a lot of subjectivity, but you'll have objectivity with regards to reserves, which country has more reserves, and you'll have objectivity when it comes to the fact about Sweden, that the new reserve that has been found in Sweden, and you'll also have some objectivity regarding the mineral strategic partnership that was launched by 10 countries. You also have some objectivity about the efforts that India is making, what is happening in the Indian Ocean, where is China exploring resources, what power China has, what power India has. So all that would be taken into account, and again we'll use a pointer approach in our body paragraph 2. We'll write in points and we'll try to cover the entire geopolitics of the globe with regards to rare earth minerals. But if you have to talk about geopolitics, first of all stressing on the applications, that what are their uses, why is there so much such a race for rare earth minerals, that is very important. So talking about introduction, just define rare earth minerals. If you are from science background, you understand what are lanthanide series, or then that is a good way to proceed. Otherwise, just write a general definition that these are a set of 17 metallic elements, rare earth elements. There are a set of 17 metallic elements. This second part is a bit scientific. These include 15 lanthanides on the periodic table. Periodic table basically classifies elements according to groups. So in addition to scandium and yttrium, that shows similar physical and chemical properties to the lanthanide. So what you can do is, if you are not comfortable with all this part, just write down that these are a set of 17 metallic elements which show similar physical and chemical properties. These minerals, they have unique, now we are moving on to the applications, why these are important. They have unique magnetic, luminescent and electrochemical properties, or you can talk about electrical properties and chemical properties, and they are used in many modern technologies including consumer electronics. Now this is where your application part begins. They are used in consumer electronics, computer networks, communications, healthcare, national defense, very important here. Clean energy technologies, etc. Clean energy technologies, that is our switch to renewable sources of energy for power production, whether it is to drive your vehicles, whether it is to produce electricity. Why? Because these have unique properties which are not found in any other minerals. So futuristic technologies, this is an important term here, that these elements, they are important for our future, or futuristic technologies like high temperature superconductivity, safe storage and transport of hydrogen for a post hydrocarbon economy, etc. need these rare earth elements or REEs. So storage of hydrogen, that is a very important thing. We discussed the green hydrogen mission on Seize the Mains a few days back. Definitely check that out. So storage of new types of renewable sources of energy and transport of hydrogen for a post hydrocarbon economy, that is very important. Hydrocarbon economy, that is your basic fossil fuels, crude oil to be precise, crude oil and coal to be precise. Then in the body paragraph 1, we will be talking about how are they obtained. So they occur at very low concentrations. As I told you, they occur at very low concentrations, though they are found almost everywhere around the globe, but the concentration is very low, and they are in combination with other elements. So extracting them, separating them or sifting them is very tough. They occur at very low concentrations in massive rock formations, and sources of rare earth elements have been found on every continent as well as on the ocean floor. So definitely talk about this. There are some minerals which are found only on the ocean floor. Some minerals, they have to be created. For example, some isotopes like uranium-233, they have to be created. And otherwise talk about land as well as ocean. So every continent as well as ocean floor has rare earth minerals. The geopolitical challenge is to find ores with sufficient concentrations of rare earths to make it economically feasible to mine and process them. The difficulty of separating and purifying the rare earth elements makes their production very expensive. So this is, we are talking about how are they obtained. So how are they found, that has been done. How are they obtained? So mining of rare earth metals, as with all the metals, begins by basic mining. How it happens? Digging rock or sand from the ground, separating out the valuable ore from the waste rock, and then refining the ore to separate the metal. So that is your how your basic mining occurs. First of all, dig it, then refine, then just separate the ore, and then just carry out refining. That occurs at very high temperature and pressure. So but producing the rare earth metals, unlike other metals, it requires an additional stage, extensive additional stage, where the various rare earths are separated from each other. This final stage of production, this is difficult and very costly. So here you emphasize that not every country can produce or can have the infrastructure of production of rare earth metals, especially the economic part of it. That is very hard. The similar reactivity is what makes it so hard to separate them from one another. So though these are 17 elements, but yes, they could be found in they could be found together. They are not found separately. So you cannot have just one ore for a particular kind of rare earth metal. First of all, you have to take them out, then you have to separate all these 17, or at least if 4 or 5 of them, they are found together. So because of the reactivity, they occur together. So that is where the tough part is, and development of infrastructure to separate these rare earth metals, that is where the problem arises. So now we are moving to the body paragraph 2. This will talk about the geopolitics of rare earth metals. I highly prescribe that after the body paragraph 1, leave some bigger space and talk about the second part of the answer, and then just focus a little bit more on application and how technology is very expensive here. Though they are used in very small amounts, their significance to the defense sector and to emerging technologies. We've already talked about defense and emerging technologies or futuristic technologies. We're writing it again. Combined with China's control over the majority of the market, these things that they're important for defense, futuristic technologies. Thirdly, China has a monopoly. So all these 3 factors, this has given the rare earth elements outsized geopolitical relevance. So what you're doing, you're basically introducing your body paragraph 2 or second part of the question. The second part of the question asks you about geopolitics behind rare earth elements. So you are validating the question, and now you're moving towards your answer. The relative scarcity of rare earth minerals has been identified as a major hurdle in the world's transition away from fossil fuels. So again, very important, we all talk about green economy, we all have our commitments according to the Paris deal or UNFCCC targets, but how is that possible? How moving away from fossil fuels is possible if generating electricity or generating power from renewables is entirely dependent upon how many rare earth metals you have in your country. So that is a major hurdle in world's transition away from fossil fuels. China and parts of Southeast Asia dominate both the mining and processing of rare earths. Now we'll talk about crude geopolitics, what is happening. First of all, we'll focus on China, then we'll talk about the mineral strategic partnership, then we'll write about Sweden, where latest rare earths have been found. Fourthly, we'll talk about India. What are the rare earth elements found in India? What percentage of rare earths do we hold in India? And do we have any processing capacity already in place, and what India needs to do? So our answer would be with respect to that. So let's begin by the point that focuses on China. So China roughly, it has 1/3 of world's reserves of rare earth elements. So that is talking about availability of rare earths, and second point would talk about accumulation. So it has over time acquired a global domination of rare earths by creating processing infrastructure, which is very expensive in rare earth minerals. It has also acquired mines in Africa. So not just in China, it has also acquired mines in Africa for elements such as cobalt. It produces 60% of the Earth's rare earths world needs. Earlier it was holding 90% of the entire production of the world. Now that has come down to 60% because your Quad nations, US, India, Australia, Japan, they have increased their production of rare earth elements. Plus with the coming up of this mineral strategic partnership, the production or the cooperation between countries has increased. The dominant share of processed rare earths lies with China. So that is again we are focusing on here. And since 2010, what China is doing, it is playing geopolitics around supply of rare earths. All countries, whether a country has crude oil, for example in the case of Russia-Ukraine war, what we saw that Russia was imposed with sanctions in the case of that war. And how did Russia respond? Russia stopped its supplies of basic oils, crude oil and things like that. So China also has been doing the same since 2010 when China curbed shipments of rare earths to Japan, the US and Europe. Production units have come up in Australia since 2010 when the entire world, it was a lesson for the entire world. So production units have come up in Australia, US along with smaller units in Asia, Africa and Latin America. In the next point, we'll talk about the mineral strategic partnership. So the US and 10 partners, definitely you can write all the 10 names, but again they're not very important. They have come together to form the mineral security or mineral strategic partnership, that is MSP. The alliance, it is seen as primarily focused on evolving an alternative to China. The goal would be to ensure that critical minerals are being produced, processed and recycled in a manner that supports the ability of countries to realize full economic development benefit of the geological endowments, and this particularly focuses on rare earth minerals which are inputs for electric vehicles and advanced batteries. In the group, countries like Australia and Canada, they have the reserves of rare earth minerals and they also have the technology to extract them. Now, the third point would be from our current affairs that the largest known deposit of rare earth minerals in Europe has been discovered in Sweden's Arctic in January 2023 with potential to help the continent. Europe is moving towards generation of power through renewables, and that is a very quick transition. So Sweden is already supporting that. It is providing a lot of iron for the generation of infrastructure for renewables. And now since rare earths have been found, so in the upcoming 10 to 15 years, production would also begin from here. So since discovery has happened, production would happen. It would not happen all of a sudden. Infrastructure development, processing facilities, they take time, but yes, a ray of hope for Europe and for the rest of the world for sure. And it will help to the continent to break free from China's dominance on the market for these resources. Then talking about India, if you are aware of the 3-stage nuclear power program of India, we have a lot of thorium reserves. In fact, around 24 to 26% of world's thorium reserves, they are found in India, and thorium is a rare earth metal. So yes, thorium is found in India. We have monazite sands in Kerala and other parts of South India. So in India, monazite is the principal source of rare earth and thorium. Though India has 6% of the world's rare earth reserves, it produces only 1% of global output and meets most of its requirements of such minerals from China. So here in this data, there is a catch here. Our rare earths also, they get imported from China, and we do not have very stable relations with China when it comes to neighborhood relationships. So in 2011, what happened in 2011, China got a permission to extract rare earth minerals in the Indian Ocean, just the south of Madagascar. So that is a threat, that is a problem for us. So if India is not able to explore and produce these minerals, it will have to depend on a handful of countries including China to power its energy transition. We have the FAME scheme, we want to produce more electric vehicles, we want the smooth transition from a fossil fuel based economy to electric power driven economy, and that is possible only with the availability of rare earth minerals, and that again would depend on China. So what will happen for 84% of our crude oil needs, we depend on imports. Now if we transition to a electricity based economy or a renewable sources based economy, we cannot depend on China. So we need to have our own production facilities here. That will be similar to our dependence on a few countries for oil. So we cannot create a new kind of dependence. In the conclusion, see, in November 2022, meeting of Confederation of Indian Industries was held. So all these entrepreneurs and businessmen, they come together and they advise the government. So they advise the government to have a separate PSC or a separate organization for production and research on rare earth minerals, because if electronics have to have a boost in the country, we are also, you know, revamping our defense sector. We are focusing on Make in India, in the defense also, in technology also, in electronics, all sorts of things. So if that has to happen in India, if these sectors need a boost, then availability of rare earth minerals, their processing, their production in India at cheaper rates, that is the need of the hour. So CII, they recommended to the government that India Rare Earths Mission, that should be set up. So just write in conclusion that the war in Ukraine has demonstrated just how inadvisable over dependence on a single supplier can be. So we cannot be dependent on a single supplier for our basic needs. So Russia's dominance in the European gas market turned into a geopolitical nightmare in a space of a few weeks. So Russia did what it did. Then, given the application of rare earths in emerging technologies and as recommended by CII, it is high time that India set up an India Rare Earths Mission manned by professionals like the India Semiconductor Mission and make their exploration a critical component of the Deep Ocean Mission plan of the government. So when India has this, in government of India has this Deep Ocean Mission, we are extracting polymetallic nodules where, in small parts of metals in which multiple metals can be found, that is what we are extracting. So there a lot of rare earth minerals are also found. So processing or extraction of rare earth minerals from using this deep ocean mission, that has to be increased. So this topic is hot, it is appearing in the news on a daily basis. So definitely add your points to this answer, add other sides also, keep your data very handy. I always recommend develop a separate data sheet as you go through the daily newspapers. This entire answer has been uploaded on our website rajisacademy.com. The link is there in the description. Do not forget to subscribe to our Instagram handle, our Telegram channel. We keep on updating a lot of content there. Also, there is a daily quiz running on our YouTube channel. The questions appear, 5 questions for prelims, they appear at 3:30 p.m. every day, and answers with explanations, they appear at 6 p.m. every day. Since prelims is approaching, we understand you cannot take a full test right now, 100 question test, that might or might not be possible for you on a daily basis. But if you're sitting for prelims this year, definitely attempt at least 20-25 questions on a daily basis. Start with previous year questions and then switch to these questions that we are giving you on a daily basis. Cover at least 20-25 questions for this month, then increase those questions to at least 30-40 in February, March, and then in the last month of your preparation, give full-fledged test, 100 questions test, mock test. So that is what your approach should be. Obviously you can have your own comfortable approach, whatever suits you. So do not lag on anything. Your preparation has to be multi-pronged. It needs to have a lot of time division, a lot of approaches need to be taken. You need to cover current affairs, mains answer writing, prelims questions, test series, previous year questions, your GS. So everything will empower you towards your preparation, and our team is always there with you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. I'll see you tomorrow with another discussion of Seize the Mains at 9 p.m. Till then, all the best. Keep working hard.